Hi, I have another story here today, and this one is about a little bird. I told this to my girls a number of years ago, and I liked it, so I wrote it down. As often happens sometimes, I will be washing dishes, and on the windowsill in front of the sink, just outside, one day there landed a little bird, and it sat there, and it watched as the clouds passed by overhead. The sill was warm and comfortable, and that little bird was happy. Soon, another little bird tried to land on the same sill, but that little bird did not want to share it, and she squawked, "My sill!" and she chased that other little bird away. Just a few minutes later, that same little bird came back to try and find a spot again, and that little bird chased it away again, squawking all the time, "My sill!" Well, now that little bird wasn't watching the sky anymore. It was watching the trees and the ground and the branches, always keeping an eye out for any other birds that might want to take her spot. She grew hungry, but she did not want to give up her spot on the windowsill until finally she was just so hungry she had to go look for food, and so she did. Worms and bugs and seeds, and when she had her fill, she returned to the windowsill and she found a big blue jay sitting there. Well, now she was angry. "That's my sill!" she cried, and she flew at the blue jay, squawking and flapping her wings. But the blue jay was much bigger than the little bird, and the blue jay didn't move. Again, the little bird flew at the blue jay. But this time, the jay fought back. It pecked at the little bird with its strong beak and scratched with its claws and hurt the bird's wings, and the little bird fell to the ground. Lying on the ground, that little bird was filled with anger and hurt. Nearby, there was an old pile of wood and brush, and out of a small opening at the bottom, there came out a little gnome with a little green hat, and he knew how to care for all things. He saw the little bird. He had seen it fall from the sill, and he had come to help. Carefully, he approached her, and he lovingly patched her hurt wing with a handful of moss and soft herbs. He helped the little bird to a little nearby stream that she'd never seen before. And there, the little gnome washed the wound and helped the bird drink. That little stream was beautiful. The sound of the water bubbling and rolling. There was music over the smooth stones, and it sparkled. And to top it all off, it sent this wonderful, cool spray into the air. It was a wonderful place. The little bird felt like she could stay there forever. And as she was resting and thinking about these beautiful things that the little stream had to offer, a handful of wrens flew down to wash and flap and play in the stream. But the little bird wanted it all for herself. "This is my stream!" she cried, and she squawked and flapped at the group of wrens until they flew away. Her wing was sore, so it hurt. But still, she had her stream back. Soon after that, a cat came creeping out from beneath a nearby bush, looking for water, but more probably looking for a meal. The little bird saw the cat and rushed at it, saying, "My stream!" The cat was surprised, but not surprised enough to pounce at the bird. But quicker than quick, the gnome leaped out and smacked the cat on the paw so hard it sent it running off home. The little bird had stumbled in the fight and chipped its little beak. Now it was difficult and painful to eat as well. She was no longer able to crack open the hard shells and nuts and seeds, but she was hungry, and so she went to look for food. Here, she came upon a stroke of luck. She found a blueberry bush, the perfect food for her chip beak. It was covered with fat, ripe, juicy blueberries. Just what I need, she thought, relieved. But as she hopped up to pick one, there was another bird in the bush. And that bird did not want to share those blueberries. And it rushed at her, pecking and squawking and flapping her wings, crying, "These are my blueberries!" Well, the little bird could not stay with her hurt wing and chipped beak. "That's enough," she thought. "I give up." And she went off to find a place to let herself wither away. Eventually, she found a spot out of the way on a bed of grass and leaves. She felt sorry for herself. But again, the little gnome found her, and he had brought with him a blueberry, which she gladly accepted. Day after day, the gnome brought berries and nursed that little bird back to health. Finally, when her strength returned, the little gnome said to her, "Follow me. I want to show you something." So they went back to the stream, and then they followed it down and down until it came to a lake. "Look," said the gnome. "Look carefully." As the bird looked into the lake, she saw her own reflection. A battered bird, ragged feathers, chipped beak. Her shoulders sank. It was not what you wanted to see. "Keep looking," continued the gnome. The little bird looked for a long time, until finally she looked past her reflection at the animals that were reflected behind her. Then past them to the trees that were reflected past that. And then to the clouds that were reflected in the sky. And then past the clouds into the clear blue. And then she saw it. The lake. The lake reflected them all. And the lake did not push any of them away. So she stayed. Anyway, hope you like that story. I have a little drawing of that one somewhere, but maybe to make a print of. I'm not putting my fingers on it right now, but maybe another time. Anyway, hope you enjoyed.